Welcome to This Explainer. If you're an educator, you already know the dream, right? A buzzing, lively classroom where young students are enthusiastically speaking English, not just staring blankly at a whiteboard. But, well, we know the reality is often a bit different. Today, we're unpacking a powerful blueprint drawn straight from our sources, designed specifically to transform silent classrooms into highly interactive English-speaking hubs. We're going to explore exactly how to practically apply digital tools to get those third graders talking. Let's dive right in.
So first up, we have to acknowledge the elephant in the room. Why do traditional methods fail so hard at getting these 9 to 11-year-olds to actually speak? It's a massive struggle. We so often push rote memorization and endless grammar drills, but when it's actually time for the student to open their mouth and produce a sentence, total silence. Or, just a lot of hesitation. It's really fascinating when you look at the psychological reality of learners at this specific age. Think about it. At 9 to 11 years old, kids have an attention span that maxes out at, maybe 20 to 30 minutes tops? They still rely heavily on visual memory and play-based activities, but, and this is absolutely crucial, their brains are actively making this major cognitive shift from concrete visual thinking to abstract logical thinking. So rote repetition, it simply doesn't stick because it completely ignores how their brains are actually processing the world right now.
Okay, so here's our digital integration blueprint for today. We'll be looking at the third grade challenge, mastering phonetics and vocab, gamifying grammar and comms, 2 practical lesson models covering my family and daily routine, and finally, measuring digital success.
Section 1. The third grade challenge. Moving past the silent classroom.
When we're teaching students whose native languages, like Kazakh or Russian, have entirely different phonetic rules, traditional methods like rote memorization and silent reading just hit a brick wall. They force abstract rules on kids who literally aren't ready for them. Instead, the sources suggest shifting to a multisensory digital reality. It's a complete paradigm shift. We're talking swapping out boring vocabulary lists for gamified quests, using augmented reality to make words literally pop off the page, and leveraging voice analysis to give kids instant, objective feedback on their speaking.
Moving to Section 2, Mastering Phonetics and Vocab, Digitizing Sounds and Words.
This gives us a really practical progression for teaching those tricky, non-native sounds. Think about the English th or w sounds. They simply don't exist in Kazakh or Russian. So, step 1, interactive phonetic cards visually and audibly introduce the sound. Step 2, kids use voice analysis software, kind of like a digital echo, to record themselves and instantly compare it to a native speaker. Then step 3, minimal pairs gaming. This playfully trains their ears to hear the difference between similar-sounding words without the stress of a formal test. Now, once they've nailed the sounds, they need the words. You can deploy tools like augmented reality dictionaries, meaning kids can literally point a tablet at an object in the classroom and boom, see its English name pop up. Talking dictionaries give them instant audio feedback, so they don't have to wait around for the teacher. And by tying the whole shebang together with digital memory games and spaced repetition algorithms like Quizlet, these new words are pushed right from short-term memory directly into long-term retention.
Section 3. Gamifying grammar and comms, making rules fun and safe. We know third graders naturally struggle with abstract grammar, right? So the goal here is absolutely crucial, making the abstract concrete. Instead of standing up there lecturing on the present simple tense, you show an animated rule cartoon. Instead of handing out another boring worksheet, you set up a digital grammar race on the smartboard. And for sentence structure, you let them physically drag and drop words on a tablet. It completely removes a child's fear of making mistakes, mostly because it just feels like they're playing a game. But to successfully transition from grammar games to actual communication, you really need safe spaces. Virtual dialogue simulators are amazing for this. They let kids practice ordering food or greeting a friend with a digital character first. And audio diaries, they are a real game changer. They allow kids to practice speaking at home into a microphone without the immense pressure of 30 peers staring right at them. It significantly lowers the barrier to entry for speaking.
Section 4. Lesson Model, My Family. Putting theory into practice.
Let's look at a highly effective 45-minute timeline. You hook them right away for 5 minutes with a digital song. Then, 15 minutes of interactive board work to introduce the vocabulary visually and audibly. Next, engagement peaks with a 10-minute digital matching game. But here is the major speaking payoff. For the next 10 minutes, students pair up with tablets using the structure "This is my" while swiping through digital flashcards.
Finally, you wrap up with a quick 5-minute digital reflection. It's fast, it's dynamic, and it's paced perfectly for that short attention span we talked about.
Section 5. Lesson Model. Daily Routine. Mastering the Present Simple.
This lesson sequence takes that spoken practice a big step further. After a quick video hook and an interactive cartoon about Tom's day, the students actually get to create something. They spend 15 minutes building a digital comic of a daily routine. And then comes the ultimate speaking exercise, a 10-minute tablet video project where they literally film themselves, or maybe a partner, describing a day in my life. They're actively producing the language, recording it and sharing it. How cool is that?
To actually run these lessons effectively, especially within the Kazakhstani educational context explored in our sources, you'll want to blend localized and global tools. You can use platforms like Bilimland and Online Mektep for curriculum-aligned content, and then seamlessly integrate them with global adapters like Duolingo for schools or Starfall for gamified practice. Add in British Council Learn English Kids for multimedia, and there you have it, a complete, robust digital ecosystem.
Section 6. Measuring Digital Success. Portfolios and Progress.
Let's be honest, it's time to ditch the paper tests, especially when we're talking about speaking skills. Instead, we can use short, interactive digital quizzes for quick daily checks. For pronunciation, why not let automated voice analysis do the heavy lifting of giving individual feedback? And for final grades, digital audio and video portfolios are just amazing. Think about it. You can literally listen to a student's progress over a semester by playing their Week 1 audio diary right next to their Week 10 video project. Night and day difference.
And when you actually apply this structured, digital, multisensory methodology, the source research observed a massive payoff. We are talking about an average 80% improvement in student speaking skills. That is huge. Plus, there's a corresponding spike in their overall motivation and their digital literacy.
You absolutely don't have to change everything overnight, but you can start small. So, my question to you is this. Which single digital tool, whether it's an AR dictionary, an audio diary, or maybe a digital grammar race, will you integrate into your classroom tomorrow? Pick one, try it out, and watch your silent classroom finally start to speak. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and happy teaching.